Welcome to the Gay Buddhist Forum, where teachers from all schools of Buddhism offer their perspectives on the Dharma and its application in modern times, especially for LGBTQI audiences. These talks are offered freely to the world and made possible by appreciative listeners. If you would like to support our efforts to share the Dharma with underserved audiences, please visit gaybuddhist.org. There you can donate, find a list of upcoming speakers, or enjoy many hundreds of these recorded talks dating back to 1996.
Welcome back, everyone. It's nice to see such a large turnout today. And I was thinking about how sweet it is. Just 5 years ago, we were all at home and masked up and all of that. It's really sweet to see a room full of people with no masks on. It's awesome. Celebrate that. And belated May Day, happy May Day, and Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow. We're going to go around and say our names, and then I'll introduce our speaker for the day. I'm George.
Luis.
Alex.
My name is Henry.
Christian.
Michael.
Juan.
Bob.
Alma.
Stephen.
David.
Steve.
Andrea.
Grisha.
Matthew.
Tim.
I'm Brad.
Tim.
Andy.
Larry.
Jack.
My name's Cass.
Tom.
Jeff.
I'm Susan.
I'm Tony.
I'm Richard.
Jay. I'm David.
And welcome everyone online. So I can see all the names here. Francis, Marvin, Tyler, Harley, John, Jeffrey, Jim, Frisco, Rich, and Jitus. Welcome, all of you. And I'd like to introduce John Martin, who's been here before. Welcome back, John. John teaches Vipassana, insight, metta, loving kindness, and LGBTQIA meditation retreats. He leads an ongoing weekly Monday evening meditation group in San Francisco. He serves as co-chair of the Guiding Teachers Council for Spirit Rock. His practice has been supported by 12 years as a hospice volunteer, including 5 years at Shanti Project during the AIDS crisis, and 7 years with the Zen Hospice Project. Find his upcoming events at his website. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Always great to be back with the Gay Buddhist Fellowship. I really feel at home in your community and really feel the strength of the community, the strength of the Sangha here. So, a pleasure to be here. And it feels like a lot of folks here too. As I was sitting, I was feeling a little pressure, like, oh, I want to really do a good job. But I can't do any better than I will do. So, today's talk is on coming home to the body. Coming home to the body. It could just as easily be titled, Coming Back to the Present Moment. Because when we come back to the body, we come back to the present moment. We're mindful, aware, and we're connected to the heart. James Joyce wrote, many of you probably heard this quote before, Mr. Duffy lived a short distance from his body. You connect with that? Happens for all of us at times. We leave our bodies. We disconnect with our bodies. We experience emotions, or maybe we feel some reactivity in the mind, and we totally leave the body. We lose a connection with what's in front of us. We lose a connection with the present moment. Lost in a thought of the past, or lost in a thought about the future. So we have these amazing bodies. And the Buddha said it's a great, precious gift to be born into a human body. He said to think of all of the beings, including all the creatures of the world. Think of the number of beings. Animals, humans, creatures, bugs. And the chance of our being born into a human body makes it a very precious thing, a rare opportunity for us to realize a greater peace and happiness that transcends the conditions of our lives, transcends the conditions of the world. This is the direction of our practice, to a greater peace that stands independent of anything. We call it peace, happiness, contentment. So So we have these amazing bodies and yet we lose the connection. So the call of practice is really to keep coming back again and again to the body with kindness, with patience. Judgment never helps. Never helps. Like when we're meditating and we get lost in thought, "Oh, I'm a terrible meditator." That's a judgment, causing real harm. There's suffering in that moment. And to be able to note, lost in thought, kindly, gently return to the breath, to the body. There's a beautiful practice in itself. And in that moment of returning, there's a complete letting go. There's a complete letting go of wanting or not wanting. It's actually a moment of great peace. When we lose a connection to the body, we really lose a connection to presence. We lose a connection to our hearts. Because if we're not in the body, we're not connected with our deepest intentions and how we wish to be in the world. We wish to be in the world probably with a kind, caring, loving heart. We wish to be in the world connected to people we love and care about. And yet, when we lose a connection to the body, lose a connection to presence, we lose that precious gift of being connected to our own hearts. So some examples of this, like if I love being on the beach, walking on the beach, love being in nature, and if I lose a connection to the body, lose a connection to the present moment, I can be right in the midst of one of those things that I really enjoy, but I may be lost in planning or fantasizing about something in the future. I miss something precious. And I can be walking down the street in my neighborhood in the Castro. It happens a fair amount. And I will be lost in thought. I'm really not quite in the body. And a friend walks right by me and I don't even see them. Well, it happens to all of us. And I find too, when I do those walks in the neighborhood, if I'm not connected, if I'm not present and connected in the body, I miss out on so much happiness. I miss out on all the joy of people being on the street, people I don't even know. But if I'm present in the body, I see the happiness of another person, I naturally feel happy too. I lose that connection. And as well, if I'm present in the body and I see suffering, plenty of suffering on Market Street in San Francisco, my heart's not connected to compassion. And I want my heart to be open to compassion, to be open to joy. So the practice, keep returning to the body again and again. That is my practice. The Buddha placed great importance on mindfulness of the body. When he was dying and the monks and nuns said, "What will we do without you?" he said that the whole of the truth is to be found in this fathom-long body. Look not to any external refuge. Look not to a guru. Be right here. The whole of the truth. Everything we need and looking for in life can be found right here by being present with the body. You could really just stay with the breath, with body sensations, with sounds, any one of those. Stay with any of those practices connected to the body, and it would support complete awakening ultimately. So he said, if we just practice in this way, the truth will reveal itself. We will see and understand the cause of suffering, of wanting and needing things to be a particular way, the attachment to our preferences. When we attach to our preferences, we begin to see that this is the cause of our suffering. And we can be free of our suffering. We can be free of our suffering any moment when we realize we're caught in wanting or needing, and we release that clinging. We open to a moment of peace. So we can go to Thailand or India to practice, but really we don't need to. It can be inspiring to do that, but we just need to practice right here. So I was reflecting in that form of practice, the immediacy of practice, and looking at your website, the Gay Buddhist Fellowship website, and Seeing that you still send your newsletter to persons who are incarcerated or practicing, and inspiring to me that you continue to do that, and that there are people who are incarcerated who are hearing or reading the talks that are offered and practicing in a dedicated way. I just wanted to share a story from autobiography I read some years ago of Anwar Sadat. Some of you may remember, old enough to remember Anwar Sadat, political leader of Egypt. In his autobiography, he spoke to a time and wrote about a time in his life when he was incarcerated. He had participated in a coup attempt against the king of Egypt. It was unsuccessful. He was arrested and put in prison. While he was in prison, he had an awakening experience. I hadn't heard this until I read this book, but reading about it was very clear. It was a powerful release of the heart, powerful, clear seeing of the truth of the way things are. He saw through the delusion of I, me, mine being separate from others. And it totally changed his view of how he wanted to be present in the world and his future involvement in politics and working toward peace in the Middle East. So, I want to speak further this morning about how this connection to the body supports peace and waking up. Speak to my own personal, the tools of practice I use, how I practice. So you'll hear a little bit of how a teacher practices, although teachers practice differently, so how this teacher practices, and hopefully that'll be helpful to you. And also speak to how the practice of staying connected, reconnecting to the body, supports the beautiful qualities of the heart of love, compassion, joy arising. So right now, I invite you just to connect to the body, to feel the weight of the body on the chair or the cushion. I feel the sits bone is resting on the cushion, the weight of the body, the legs resting on the floor, or the feet resting on the floor. Maybe the hands touching the legs, or in the body. When we're present in the body this way, we are here, we are now. That's what our practice is. That's how close it is. Feel the touch points of the body on the earth, the weight of the body on the earth. This earth is always supporting us. Feel the heaviness of the body. Feel the energetic field of the body, perhaps vibrating or pulsing, tingling. Maybe warmth or coolness. Maybe aware of the in and the out breath, maybe a deep breath. We're in the body. So you can bring this in any time. Like you're listening to a talk here in the hall, you're in a meeting during the day. Just come back. Feel the weight of the body. This is how immediate the here and now practice is. Our practice is about the here and now, coming back to this immediate moment. Coming back to this immediate moment of the here and now. This quote from Alan Watts: "When we dance, the journey itself is a point. As when we play music, the playing itself is a point. And exactly the same is true in meditation. Meditation is the discovery that the point of life is always arrived at in the immediate moment." That's what the practice is about. So in my own practice, I start every meditation for myself, or with guided meditation. There's quite a few folks online who are in my Monday night class. I start by connecting with the body, to feel the sits bones, feel the legs or feet on the floor. I connect into the body. It brings me into the here and now. It supports me in letting go of thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future. I just make that initial connection of settling in. Then I often move to the knowing of the sensations of the body, pulsing, tingling, constantly changing. Being with the whole energetic field of the body, and then moving to the breath. This primary object that the Buddha suggested that for many people is most immediately available. And in breath, the body become like an anchor. Even as I may begin to open up to the whole field of experience, thoughts, emotions, sound, keeping a gentle connection to the breath, the in and the out breath. That's how I'm practicing to support being present with the immediate moment. So I do that in my meditation, but I also do that throughout the day. Many times when I give talks at Spirit Rock, I will suddenly, in the midst of an hour-long talk in the hall, find that I'm like Mr. Duffy. I'm sharing a talk, but I'm outside of the body. And I'll pause. And sometimes I actually say it out loud. Okay, I'm going to pause, reconnect, feel the body on the earth. Take a deep breath. Come back to the body. And just in daily life. Just last week I was at the ballet. One of my favorite things to do in San Francisco is to watch the San Francisco Ballet. And I found myself here, spending a lot of money to be at the ballet, doing what I love, and my mind is thinking about something that happened earlier in the day, mind caught in reactivity. Okay, I've got this practice. Come back, feel the body, kind of reground, feel the breath. Now I can be present for the ballet, keeping maybe 10-20% of the attention on the breath, the body. And the mind would still go off to that again a few more times, but I'd come back again. And eventually there was a settling down, and I could really be present for the evening to enjoy the ballet, what I was there for. So it's like a refuge, this body, that we can keep coming back to again and again, like this refuge, this safe place, even when we may be really upset by something that has happened in our lives, something we read in the news or see as we're scanning news stories on our computer, and we feel really triggered. Come back to the body. Take a deep breath. Reconnect. Maybe it's really strong. Maybe there's really strong anger or fear that's present. Feel the body. There's pulsing, there's tingling, there's the heaviness of the body, the breath. There's these emotions too. But maybe the emotions that are being felt you can actually feel and be present with in the body. So it's not a disconnected experience. And that can all be held with a level of balance, a level of acceptance, without a level of overwhelm. I like bringing in, for my own practice, this may not work for you, but you could try it. I like bringing in the little mantra, there is the body. There is the body. You could just say it silently to yourself now, and just eyes open or closed. There is the body. It's just, for me, as soon as I say that, I feel some settling, connecting. And I'll just bring it in when I'm walking in the city and I find myself not fully present in the body. There is the body. There is the body. And this is a mantra I use, just this simple phrase I learned from Joseph Goldstein. So, it's a great, great teacher. So, I'd like to just invite you now, I'm bringing little elements of my own practice that I'm offering to you, and you can try these out, is with your eyes open, just acknowledging there is the body, your body, and looking around the room, seeing others in the room, maybe friends, Dharma friends, maybe folks you haven't met before. This beautiful space. You can see this beautiful space that we're in. Folks on the screen, you can see others on the screen. Right here, right now, this moment, the immediacy of this moment cannot be any different than it is. It's happening for the first time, for the only time. And there's something very beautiful about just this moment when we're fully present. Just this. The Buddha called it tathata, the suchness of the moment. And sometimes when that suchness is right there, so immediate, I just walk out the front door of my house. It's just so ordinary. Trees, a few trees, houses, cars parked in the street. Just takes my breath away sometimes. The suchness of this moment. There's something very precious about just this moment. Even like with the joys and sorrows of our lives, the joys and sorrows of the world, right now, we are here. We are here. There's nothing missing right now. When we connect with this, when we recognize this can really point the way. This can point the way to a deeper, deeper happiness. Interesting, as I talk, I recognize my voice drops as I settle in more deeply and connect with the Dharma. I need to talk with a mic most often. Spirit Rock has a mic that I have to keep turning up as I speak. So the Buddha said that we should be mindful in all postures and activities. The Buddha said to simply know when we're sitting, know when we're walking, know when we're lying down, know when we're standing. Really simple instructions. Munindraji said, sit and know you're sitting, and the whole of the Dharma will be revealed. And he wasn't making that up, just the simplicity of just sitting and knowing you're sitting. The truth will reveal itself. I bring this in, I walk a lot in the city and walked over here from my home about a mile away. And I just kept coming back to the body, feeling the feet as I stepped, hitting the earth, knowing that I was walking. And I'd see something, my mind would be pulled away. And I'd remember, return to the body, return to this present moment. It's very calming, it's very settling to keep returning to the body. The last few years, I've really started to bring it into my lying down practice at night when I go to bed. Every night, I really have a practice of being aware of feeling the weight of the body on the mattress, lying down. A nice benefit is that it takes the prominence of the mind off the center stage to bring in the whole awareness. So it helps to settle and calm the mind and support sleep. And when I wake up during the night, aware of the body, aware of the weight of the body. If I can't sleep, feel the body. Might as well make it a practice time. So. And we can be, another thing to say is that in any activity, the Buddha says to bring awareness to any activity. So when I swim, I try and just be aware at times. Swimming. Know that I'm swimming. Know that I'm washing dishes. Any activity. This can deeply support our practice. And I bring in the breath a lot. Now I use the breath as a touch point, especially if I get restless, agitated, something going on, maybe nervous. Just feeling the breath. Feeling the in and the out breath. So calming, so settling. And this amazing thing that no one is doing the breathing. The breathing just happening on its own. And it's such a great object because there's so many sensations that we're usually never even aware of. And a single in and out breath. And every breath is unique, just like every moment is unique, every breath is unique. And we can bring an interest and a curiosity to this. This is the practice, to really be intimate, interested in our moment-to-moment experience. I think I may have mentioned before when I was here that one of the things that brought me to practice was physical pain in the body. And I really, 25 years ago, I had a lot of physical pain and I was at war with it. And I felt I had to get rid of this pain to have any chance of happiness in my life. I hated it. I just wanted to get rid of it. And I hoped that meditation would help me get rid of it. And I kind of left the body when I would feel this discomfort. And so I was quite really stunned, like it almost, my breath stopped. I remember that feeling of when my teacher told me, okay, well, be present with kindness and care for those bodily sensations and be interested in the moment-to-moment experience. Oh, I never thought of that. I just wanted to be rid of it. And actually, when I started noting the moment-to-moment experience, I was surprised. I felt there's tension, there's heat, it's uncomfortable, unpleasant. It was changing moment to moment. And then I felt an emotion beneath it. Oh, there's fear. What does fear feel like? Oh, it's tight, it's pulsing, unpleasant. And there was anger beneath it. All of these layers, all of this, it was changing moment to moment. And it was revelatory. And I started to see that the cause of my pain was a reactivity. It was just sensation, but the mind was making it into something terrible. The mind didn't want it, didn't want something unpleasant. It wasn't the way I preferred it to be. But over time, over the course of years, I made peace with it. Made peace with the body, made peace with the sensations that just are arising from causes and conditions, not the problem. And once I could be at peace with it, meet it with kindness, compassion, acceptance, those sensations still come, but there's no pain, there's no suffering. Sometimes unpleasant, sometimes neutral. It's interesting. So much of the suffering we experience is a result of our reactivity and having something we don't like, not having the way not having things be the way we prefer them to be, that we suffer greatly, we suffer needlessly. This is it. This is the key teaching of the Buddha. I'm just reconnecting with the body and pausing for a moment too, during the practice. Gradually, I've learned, maybe you've done this with your practice, I know many of you have been practicing for many years, that where I used to never meet illness, sickness, pain with kindness, compassion, it's a gradual reprogramming of the heart and mind, kind of our rewiring of our neurologies, that when we feel painful sensations, when we're sick, we're able to meet it with kindness, compassion, and to actually be present with the experience. Last week I had a cold, and at first I had that long time habitual pattern of just wanting to plow through, deny that it was there, and then I came back. Okay, be in the body for this experience, this is what it's like. I'm suffering. Meet it with kindness, with compassion. And there was some relaxing, there was some ease. It's the call of our practice, to meet every part of our experience with kind, gentle, loving attention. So there is the body. There is the body. And the Buddha said to practice internally and externally. So right now, you could just do a little experiment with it to feel your body and note, there is the body, this body. And then look around the room and see others. There is the body, right? See the body externally. It sounds so simple, but drop it into your practice. Drop it into walking down Valencia Street or Mission Street later on and see what it's like to note there is the body of others. Seeing the body internally and externally. There's no logical point I'm trying to draw. It's just the simple instructions from the Buddha that will support clarity, insights arising. It will support releasing the heart from confusion. The Buddha also asks us to examine the body and the body parts, 32 body parts. I think Bob Stahl has spoken here before on the body parts, 32 body parts. And to really see in our direct experience that the body parts are not reliable, not self. We can see this too, just being with sensations, sounds, breath. Every part of our experience is changing moment to moment. Thoughts are changing moment to moment. No one calls forth the sensations that you experience when you're sitting. The pulsing, the tingling, coolness, warmth. You're not calling forth those sensations. The sounds, you're not calling forth the sound. Sound has arisen, it's known, it passes away. Fundamentally, thoughts and emotions are no different. We tend to think the thoughts are who we are. But those too are arising from causes and conditions. Right? If I knock on the table, you're the thought, John is knocking on the table and making a sound is coming up. But you didn't choose that thought. The thought is just arising. So when we're present in the body, we begin to see everything is arising and passing, even the knowing of the sounds, the sensations, the thoughts, arising and passing. There's nothing reliable to hold on to in that experience. There's nothing permanent. There's nothing to latch on to. We find maybe a peaceful feeling in the body. We can't hang on to it and say, okay, now I'm going to keep that feeling for the rest of my life. It's going to change too. It's not reliable. And there's no self. There is no one directing the show. So impermanence, unreliability, no self. These are the three characteristics of every moment of experience that the Buddha called the three characteristics. And when we're present simply with the body, there is a body, internally, externally, maybe just with sensations, sounds, or breath, we know at a deeper and deeper level. Everything is constantly changing, nothing reliable, not self. And we learn to let go. We learn to let go of things needing to be any particular way. We make peace in our own hearts. We make peace with the world. And there's no possibility of peace in the world if there's no peace in our own hearts and minds. So this is the direction of our practice. A quote from Genjo Koan, "What is the way of the Buddha? It is to study the self. What is the study of self? It is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by all things." So, to say too, I want to begin to bring it to an end, but to say too, one of the beautiful things about coming into the body, I saw in my own practice, especially the first few years, because it was kind of a shock to me, is how when I was present in the body, the beautiful qualities of the heart naturally come forward. We feel, when we're in the body, we sometimes feel an impulse for generosity, to help someone maybe who looks lost, or to reach out to a friend in need. We feel an impulse. It just arises from the heart awareness when we're present and connected to the immediate moment, using the body as the anchor. And there's a way that we can really trust this. I found early on as a hospice volunteer, when I started the practice, if I was just in the body, the words, the actions I would take as a volunteer were not coming from up here, not coming from the head. but coming from presence, like coming from awareness itself, like saying to someone at the end of their life, I see the beauty of your heart, I see your beautiful heart. Remember the first time I said that to someone, like, where'd that come from? I didn't think that. It just comes out, it just comes from the heart. We become more aware of how we can really trust our heart, trust our own goodness when we're fully present. It's the way I so often prepare my talks now. I'll think about what I'm going to say, maybe do some readings, maybe make a few notes. And having kind of just done that, I sit down, meditation, and then clarity starts to come forward. And what I really want to say, what feels most important to say. So we can trust the awareness, we can trust the heart. So I'd like to just end just a very, if you do this with me, it's to be a 3 or 4 minute guided sit of a body scan, inviting kindness and goodwill into the body. Some of you may have done this before, just to see what it's like to invite kindness in the body. So again, feel the weight of the body on the earth, the sits bones, legs and feet on the floor. Present here and now in the body. Inviting kindness, care for this body. We'll scan from the top of the head to the forehead, inviting kindness into the body. We'll scan down the length of the body. Invite a softening around the eyes, a relaxing around the jaw. Beginning to allow kindness, care to fill the body, the head, down to the neck and the shoulders. Maybe having a sense of relaxing as you invite ease to the body, appreciating the body. Scanning down to the shoulders and the upper right arm, the lower arm, allowing kindness, goodwill, fill all the way down to the right hand and the fingertips. The Buddha said, no one more deserving of our love and attention than we are ourselves. And back to the left shoulder and upper left arm, lower arm, left hand all the way to the fingertips, fully connecting into the body with love. And then returning to the upper back. And if there's any places of discomfort or tension, especially sending kindness to that part of the body. Accepting the experience, meeting it with kindness and compassion. Not trying to change the experience, but meeting it with kindness and compassion. In the middle and lower back, kindness to the body. The upper chest, connecting to the heart center that we most often associate with love. Wishing this body well, wishing yourself well. Kindness, care for this body. And the upper, middle, lower abdomen, metta, kindness, care, gratitude for this body that carries and supports us. And the pelvis and the right hip. And the right leg, metta, kindness, filling the leg, lower leg and the right foot. Left hip, upper left leg, lower leg, and left foot. The whole body in a field of metta, of kindness, goodwill. Maybe the energetic field extends beyond the body. Maybe you're not even aware of the form of the body. Just this energetic field of the body enveloped in kindness and care. So, inviting you to open your eyes and perhaps maintaining a tension of about 10% on the body, connection to the earth. And appreciating yourself for your willingness to give that a try. So just a few final words to say that come home to the body. This refuge is always here for us. It can be the vehicle for awakening, to release the heart from confusion, to clearly see and know things as they are, and to open to a peace, a contentment, a happiness that extends beyond the conditions of our lives, beyond the conditions of the world. So thank you for your attention, and apologize if my voice kept dropping too much. Thanks for your help in keeping my voice loud enough. Thank you. Do we have time for questions, or not really?
Do we? Okay.
Yes.
I love the notion of there is a body and just a don't seem. And I think about that one a lot. Do you have thoughts about sort of kind of merging that with the notion of selflessness? That when I think about the experiences of my body, there's a difference between that and the other bodies that I can't feel. So I feel there's sort of like that difference is there, where I'd be curious to find out like the lack of difference. Can I, to be in my body but yet not different than the other bodies or the other beings, if that makes sense?
It will. I advise you just not to think about it, but just drop in the seed, like there is the body, like just like watering the plant and letting the plant grow and flower, and be interested and curious into the mystery of how that question is going to be answered. But I wouldn't keep thinking about it.
Okay.
So I hope that's helpful. But that's very much the way I practice with there is the body. I just like dropping in the seed, and then I see others. There is the body, but I'm not thinking about, is there really any difference or not? Like it's just like it will come to you. Your clarity will come.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yes.
I guess I've heard similar suggestions about the relationship with pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a chronic pain person. I have arthritic, this and that. And so I just need to hear it again. Or maybe you describe, like I get out of the chair and my back hurts and my knee hurts and my left toe hurts.
Yeah.
And so what do you do in that moment?
Two things. I mean, there is the pain where I'm really intimate with it, like the sensations coming into practice. And there's like the chronic pain, my body's aging. If I bring attention to my right hip, sensation there and a little discomfort there, that's pretty much all the time there. So I'm not, it doesn't need to be investigated. It's there. I can hold it with some kindness and care. I try and take care of the body. But it's not, I don't need to make it the primary object of attention. And you can just be aware, like when I stand up, I'm kind of stiff. I can definitely aware of the aging body. And sometimes we can have pain that's extreme physical pain. It's not wise to go toward that. Like I advise people after they've had a surgery, like just bring awareness, meditate on your hands touching the leg. Make that your primary place of contact, because there's no point in investigating being with chronic pain. Mainly we want to learn how to be present with it with more love and compassion. So we can still be open to the fullness of our experience. We don't need to tighten around it. Does that help?
The idea of meditating on something.
Meditating, you're going to a different object. Yeah.
Go to a different
Going to a different object can be a wise thing to do. I'm glad you brought that in, because I should have brought that in my talk. So, thank you.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you, John. Yeah, that idea of like acute pain
Mm-hmm.
and going somewhere else, because I find when that happens, I need to distract myself from it.
Mhm.
If I focus on it too much, it expands.
Yeah.
So that's good advice. Early on, when you were talking about dropping into the present moment, I was on a 30-day retreat, and one of the takeaways from something I was reading was, just always focus on awareness. And so I developed this little mantra that's been so easy for me to remember. Awareness is here, awareness is now.
Mm-hmm.
So awareness is here, meaning this seat, all those things you described,
Yeah.
The floor, the skin, the breeze, the air, and awareness is now. Like that sound I heard 30 seconds ago is gone. It's
Yeah.
not here now.
Yeah.
So I can, what is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And if I just repeat that over and over, awareness is here, awareness is now,
Yeah.
I really begin to drop in. Everything falls away.
Yeah, beautiful, great tools. And sometimes I use the labeling language, hearing being known, or sensing being known. Because when we're aware of sensations, there's like the knowing of sensations, the knowing of hearing. So that's awareness, and that's mindfulness. And awareness is always here. And awareness isn't, there's no such thing as your awareness or my awareness. It's just awareness. It's quite something. And thank you for offering that. And to say too, I want to say on body pain, it's really like, first thing you feel strong body pain, even chronic pain, like, oh, I'm suffering. May I be free of suffering. Just bring in some compassion. And then, if it's appropriate, to shift the attention to another object. But don't miss the opportunity to practice compassion too.
Thank you for a wonderful talk. Probably, the most spiritually transformative book I ever read when I was 20 years old was called Be Here Now.
Mm-hmm.
And those three words have been with me for 47 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived a lot part of my life as Mr. Duffy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I finally started to get it, that be here, we could always rely on, you want to know where here is, find the body.
Mm-hmm.
It's geographic, like that dot on the map, press, it locates you on the map.
Mm-hmm.
When is now? In the body.
Yeah.
So.
It's quite something. Like we're practicing to free ourselves from seeing this body and mind as who we are, and yet it's by being with the body that the breakthrough happens. Exactly as that koan suggested.
Yeah.
So there's a level of faith with the practice. Like we can't logically know what we're doing with the practice, but just the truth of coming back right here, right now, feeling the weight of the body on the chair, feeling this in-breath, this out-breath. It's so simple. It's so simple, and yet it's not easy at all.
Right under our nose.
Pardon?
Right under our nose.
Right under it. It's like everything we've always sought for is already here. We just have to let the fog clear away. It's like sitting on top of Dolores Park on a foggy day, and that's our practice. We just sit, know we're sitting, let the fog clear away. It's already here. That's the T.S. Eliot quote. David will probably help me with this one. When we shall not cease from exploration, and when we come to the end of our searching, we will reach the beginning and know the place for the first time. I really did a butcher job on that quote. See, yes, and so. Yes.
Thank you. You brought up some difficult thoughts, and I hope you can offer an insight. When I think of my body, I realize my body exists in various environments. Environmental, psychological, and political. If I can somehow affect those so that my concern about those is eased, I think I would be helping others, which would be a nice thing to do. Part of a Buddhist hope that you do something positive for other people. Now I've forgotten my question. How does one deal with those big questions of living in various environments? The ecological, the psychological, the political, without getting lost, because those are huge things to try to affect.
Yeah.
I've had some ideas. I give money to organizations that I hope will help, but those don't have quick results. And do I retreat back to the body and try to find comfort there?
Keep coming back to the body, and in fact you're coming back to the heart. You think of people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela right there, like fully present, with suffering, but connected to the heart, and connected to love, connected to also a piece of equanimity, like, okay, this is the way the world is, and I'm going to speak up and take action, but from a place of peace and love. So keep coming back to the body. This is your refuge. This is a place for clarity. Come back to the body for like the answers on maybe how you wish to be engaged in the world, the actions you wish to take. Trust the heart of awareness. Trust your heart on what emerges. And there may be some thinking, some discussion, some reading that's helpful. But this is what you trust most of all.
I appreciate your encouraging taking action. Because I think we all ought to think about doing what we can to make things better, not just for ourselves, but for everyone.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
No, thank you for reminding us to be mindful of our bodies. Something you said, and somebody else was talking about the pain, the chronic pain. I had like a bicycle accident last year where I was like picked up off the street in an ambulance and I got knocked out. And I experienced tremendous like physical pain for several months where I couldn't even sleep without being in pain, like 24 hours a day. But the strange thing that happened was that, as my body healed, as it mostly healed, I remember like noticing like as things were getting better and pain would go away. This may sound strange, but I remember like sometimes missing some of the pain. Like there were some painful things. I feel that pain isn't there anymore because it was a pain that I got so used to, maybe not comfortable with, but used to, that it became such a regular thing that I was experiencing with that awareness of the pain, that part of the body, this part of the body. That as it disappears or as it goes away, like that awareness of that part of the body goes away, you just kind of go on, just like we go on breathing, right? We don't think about breathing all the time. And it's actually taught me how to appreciate my body more as it's aging, different parts that aren't working as well as they used to, or, as efficiently as they used to. And it's kind of taught me to kind of take a new perspective on just the pain in the body that we sometimes feel, that it's not necessarily like a terrible thing, it just is what it is, right? And like when I push my body to its limits in my swim practice, like I swim with a swim team, and sometimes I swim to the point where I'm like, feels like I'm drowning, and I'm like, but I still I do enjoy it. I enjoy that suffering, but it's like, it's strange, It's just strange because it gives you acknowledgement of your body. It gives you acknowledgement and appreciation for how it functions, and it gives you just a deeper awareness of it, and it's So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but it's kind of a bizarre. Yeah, it's definitely in mindfulness, I think, is what's going on there.
I really appreciate your practice. You're really being with the practice, like to see this. It's so interesting what the mind does. Like even maybe even attaching to pain. It's like, oh, it's gone. And it's just interesting to see the patterns of the mind. It's fascinating, beautiful. I feel like you want to say something. You want to say something? No? No? No. Okay. I was connecting with your feelings you were feeling.
I just wanted to acknowledge that, as you mentioned, and everybody else mentioned pain, and how my brain wants relief, and my body is no longer with me. It's my brain saying, donut, candy, cookie. And I realize that I don't give myself that moment to sit with whatever and let my brain or my thoughts, they can take me. And I'm really grateful to realize that I will overeat because I'm comfortable with that feeling of overeating and knowing that I feel full. So it's very going to practice that, connecting with my body before I run out to, so I'm hoping to help with my sugar addiction. Because it is my brain just telling me I want something. My body doesn't want it. It's my brain that wants it.
It's so interesting.
So just maybe reconnect with my body before I run out. So just see, I feel like it's helpful to practice this in every aspect, just even with my mindfulness of what I eat and how I eat. So I'm grateful. Thank you.
I love hearing about folks' practice.
Maybe I could share some observation about getting older that I just happened to have with me today. Getting old sucks. I used to wake up feeling like $1 million. Now I feel more like a bounced check.
Yes.
Thank you for your talk. I had an experience yesterday. I volunteered at the Youngster, which is the Kids' Day at the DM Museum. And I got my assignment, and I was in the middle of the circus and the dancing and the groove and the pulse of it. And my first thought was, I don't know if my body can take this for 4 hours, all the stimulus. And I just said, well, you're here because you want to see the joy. You want to see kids being kids, and the kind of kids that get to go to that thing, the parents that take them there are the ones that seem to be involved. And so I did this shift. I just kind of laughed at myself. 4 hours isn't going to kill me, And the 4 hours went. I didn't even notice the noise. I mean, and literally, there was a circus. There was a band. There was dancing. What I saw was all the beautiful children, all the families being kind to each other, sharing their food, sharing their love. I didn't see one parent yell at their child, and I was just so grateful, and I was fully present. It wasn't like I didn't hear the noise. I was just fully present and with my heart, just seeing it. And then I walked home in the park, because sitting for a long time is, I need to move. And it was beautiful, and I walked through the neighborhoods, and I got home, and I said, I think I'm going to go sit in my backyard and meditate and read. I need a stimulus reduction. But it's just like, there's so much possibility. I relate to your practice. I relate to pain and about that. But it was just it felt very pure and like a real gift.
Pure joy, it feels like.
Yeah.
Right? Makes me happy too.
Because I was open to it. Because the first thought was, this noise is going to kill me. I got to get out of my hearing aids. If I take off my hearing aids, I'm going to You know, we can complicate things.
Yeah, you're like seeing the habit patterns of the mind and choosing not to go there. Like, I'm not going to believe that.
So thank you. That's
Thank you. Like, sometimes I have those thought patterns come up, and I'll just say, just a thought. Just a thought.
What else is possible?
No, don't need to take that train. I don't need to believe that thought and let it take me off. And look at the joy you experience. And then now we're feeling joy. Probably most people in the room are feeling joy hearing about your joy. It's contagious.
How did you want to ask?
I'll ask individual.
Okay. I guess it's time to wrap up. And we have a host today?
Yes, we do. I'm your host. As you already know, there's tea out there. When you finish, just put your cups in the sink, and I'll take care of them. I'll be passing around the Donna bowl. Donna's Polly for generosity, and GBF thrives on the generosity of all of you. So $10 to $20 suggested donation, but anything is helpful. And that money goes for the rental of this beautiful space, an honorarium for our teachers. We're starting up the Larkin Street dinners, monthly dinners, which we discontinued during the pandemic. But now that we've started it up, there's a kind of a new supervisor for Larkin Street, and in order for us to get the dinners going, it's requiring a bit more of a commitment on the part of a core team that Clint is looking for. Do we know what the status of that is at this point? Or?
Yes, everyone has applications, and it's going forward, slowly but surely.
Yeah. So there is this core team they're requiring fingerprinting and that kind of thing, but then there are also possibilities for people, once they have the core established, that people can, drop in, volunteer one month, and maybe another month. But it's a great thing that we do, and I think that's it. Oh, and our quarterly newsletter that John was mentioning before, that goes out primarily to incarcerated individuals. And generosity, once again, we're an all-volunteer organization, and we do have, there's room for the generosity of your time. We're always looking for anybody technically inclined to be our Zoom Hilda to help set up for these our hybrid meetings, and it's quite exciting how our talks are going out all over the world through our website, and now we have a YouTube channel. So there's a sign-up sheet. Oh, and there's snacks. There's some vegan stuff out there, and lots of chocolate and stuff like that. And oh yeah, there's a sign-up sheet if you want to be on our mailing list on the credenza out there. And at usually 12:30, some people meet outside the front door and go off to lunch together. I think that covers it.
Any other announcements?
Yeah, I just want to add that another thing that a lot helps is we subsidize our retreats. We just had one in Vargavani with Sean Felt. It was really amazing. And we have another one coming up in September, the 22nd to the 24th with J.D. Doyle at the Landman's in Buddha. Just mark the date. It'll be opening sometime. Registration will be opening sometime in July, but just might want to mark your calendar just as you plan your life.
Jordan, what else?
An update on Martin Street. The core team has been established. We're starting the process. There's like 5 or 6 steps. But if you're interested in volunteering once in a while or regularly, you can contact Clint Seifert or Seifert.
Cider.
Okay, yes.
What is it?
Clint, and what's the last name?
Seiter. He's this?
Yeah, he's in the directory.
Larkin Street dinners.
It'll be once a month. And,
For how much you? Anyone else?
I have an announcement.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hey. This afternoon at 4 o'clock at Calvary Presbyterian, the San Francisco Choral Society is doing a smashing performance of Bach's absolutely epic B minor Mass. If you've never heard it, it is there's nothing like it, and it's regularly listed as the number one on the list of the greatest pieces of Western music. It's soaring, epic, deeply moving, poetic. We're singing the hell out of it, and I highly recommend it. It's one of the glories of Western culture, basically. Oh, and it's at 4 o'clock. You can get tickets at the door, but get there early to do that, because we have a big crowd. Anyway, it's just a life-changing piece of music, if you've never heard it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And there was so much Tom. Oh, you can gather in a circle then for our dedication. There it is. You just have to get it. I don't have it memorized like cats. By the power and truth of this practice, may all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May all be free from sorrow and the causes of sorrow. May all never be separated from the sacred happiness which is without sorrow. And may all live in equanimity, without too much attachment or too much aversion, believing in the equality of all that lives.
Thank you for listening to the Gay Buddhist Forum. If you would like to hear several new talks per month and be notified of upcoming speakers so you can participate live, please subscribe to this podcast, like us on Facebook, and join our mailing list by visiting gaybuddhist.org.